Yeah, good morning, Lions. Mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Ka-chaya! How we doing? Good morning. Let me get everything up and running. Lions, you know what it is? It's almost like we just left off from yesterday. Can I get a papinka? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? All right, let me load everything up real quick. Good morning. I told Diddy he needs to stop it with the freak offs, you know, and he needs to get with the Lions and start getting participating with the juice offs. He had freak offs, we had juice offs. Chat. Kachaya! Dominique, thank you for the resub. How we doing though? Indo, you good? Blink John, you good? Can we go over TA? Yeah, I mean, the TA really hasn't changed since yesterday. So I think it's really just a question of, do you want to take the value area low bullish retest and the VWAP bullish retest? Would you prefer to wait for the point of control, the single print? And what do we talk about? The session VWAP. So it's a matter of, if you wanted to long yesterday, I mean, put your money where your mouth is. Value area low bullish retest, or like we talked about, fake out and then getting back in. So at least that would be your invalidation, and at least the single print would be your entry. It's actually the same thing from yesterday, just the opposite now. So structure change. Do you want to front run it? Do you not? Obviously, there's a hidden bull div already. So Stiga says, does anything change for the last 2 weeks? Yeah, but that's the beauty of being prepared. You know what I mean? So we left off yesterday with, hey, look, if you're bullish, the VWAP bullish retest, the value area low bullish retest, the single print, and the anchor VWAP, those are all levels that you can try to get. And then, as you guys know, we talked about the narrative of leaving the 107 high like that. So you have to think of a place of, okay, well, if it doesn't hold X, then I'm going to enter a short because it's going to go clean the 100. You're going to have if it doesn't lose this and it's able to bounce from here, maintaining a hidden CVD bull div, then that's your easy scalp long to go and clean the 107. So yeah, isn't it really just where we left off from RTH last night? RTH last night, gap below the RTH VWAP right now. Let's get it. Kachoya! Exclamation Bybit. Are you guys ready? Do you guys understand why the traditional market scalping was put off until this point? Did you guys see the exciting news? Well, didn't get fulfilled, but at least we got a little bit. Stiga says, I still need to come back for my poker belt. We might do poker this weekend. Let's see here. Tyneek Crypto, thank you for the resub. Stiga, let's get it. Flexi says, maybe you get the Papink. Oh, we already got the Papink. It's easy money, Bugatti money, man. 7.5 pixel, perfect. Blink John says, I have a question. I hear you say many times I was bullish for 2025 since last year. My question is, how do you decide bullish, bearish a year in advance? You can just rewind and get caught up, Blink John. It's just preparation. Yeah. I don't know how long you've been able to watch me, but were you here when we did this? Were you here when we did this? Did you know that these are weekly candles? And when we were here, we were already talking about doing this. So it starts with this. Like when we saw that, that's when we knew we were bullish. Yeah, but to be honest, it's just planning. Like think about, like, somebody was like, maybe you'll get pinked. I got pinked at Pixel Perfect 7.5 just now. Right? Like think about this. Even this, like right? So yesterday we were talking about, well, there's a chance that it's going to hit the ETH value area high, and then this is value area high, this was value low. So remember when we were looking for this? But yesterday it did this. And so like you had this, right? Pull this fib on MEXC. You'll notice that it's 7.5 pixel perfect. This guy right here. Pull this fib on MEXC on the 1 minute. You'll see that is 7.5 pixel perfect. Yeah, so if you're bullish, S&P will hold that Boo Gamma. If it's bullish, Bitcoin is not going to go below value area high. It's just preparation and planning, I think, Blink John. Obviously, some of it has to do with, you know, my wealth manager at Goldman kind of planning this out with me. But yeah, it's just levels and planning, whether it's smaller time frame, day to day, whether it's medium time frame or it's higher stuff. You know, levels need to hold, levels need to reject. That's it, Flexi. I mean, Blink John. Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm telling you right now, like I'm in pixel perfect on 7.5. You know, and then when the 5 minute structure changes, whether it's this one or this one, my stop loss will be moved to profit, tiny profit, and I can't lose. But isn't that the preparation from yesterday though, Blink John? Where did you put your stop loss then on that 7.5 entry? You tell me, Flexi. That's your entry. That's your invalidation, structure change. Basically 3 ways that you can take the long. One is, just like yesterday, you wait for structure change. 2, you wait for 30-minute candle close. Or you can just do what I did and take the most aggressive version of it. Any questions? We're just front running that it's going to stay above value area high, correct? But really, the most important thing is, wasn't this the plan from yesterday? Yay or nay? Wasn't this the plan from yesterday? I think you guys are starting to understand why I keep saying there's no reason to trade after RTH is closed. Isn't this all we just talked about yesterday? The VWAP getting, I told y'all I'm a big stickler for VWAP. So if it really is bullish, it should be able to hold what? I don't think it's that hard. Dick Flex says, do you give it some margin for error? Nope. Nope. The math is the math. Nope. But try it yourself and see what works. I mean, it's Fibonacci, it's value. It's VWAP, so I would have been filled for a little bit more if we had gotten that single print, but that's okay, because then that's going to give me confluence for the 107 sweep short. Santa says, but would you take another shot if BTC takes CME single print below? Nope, I would just get stopped out in tiny profit, and then I would reevaluate. So first things first, Santa, is the low good or bad? And, you know, same thing with S&P. So I don't know if you heard me say it, but if S&P, if this is really bullish, did you hear when I said S&P should hold this Boo Gamma? Do you understand why? So it would depend on if you believe it to be that if it really is bullish, S&P is going to hold that Boo Gamma. I have an S&P long as well. So I think if we were to try and take another long, it would depend on if I think S&P Boo Gamma is going to hold. Do you think it's low volume today or good volume today? Can you tell that it's kind of low volume? So that means that I'm going to have to put emphasis on S&P more than anything that I really see on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin comes and stops us out, the thing that would make me think about re-entering again, Santa, would be if I believe S&P is going to hold that boot gamma. If I don't think S&P is going to hold that boot gamma, then I would just wait, basically. Because think about it. Remember yesterday, there's a long and a short. If for some reason this doesn't hold, and we do this, then I'm going to short there. Invalidation would be there, Santa. So the only way that I would re-enter along is if I really thought, conceptually, value area high was going to hold, and more importantly, if S&P was going to hold its boot gamma. I don't think it's worth a long if it comes and cleans it. Yeah, because then I would be like, well, we've deviated way too low. So it would probably be a little bit bearish, to be honest, if you get stopped out. That's a great example, brother, of if you don't really understand what's going on, you might enter when I get stopped out in tiny profit, and you're going to be talking about, like Mario, wait, but I thought we were longing here. What do you mean you're shorting? Right? So it all kind of starts with, like, do you think boot gamma should hold? Yes or no? Like, that's a very crucial component, right? And being able to understand if it's low volume or high volume. Could Bitcoin really stand on its own, or is it going to need S&P help? So, all right, Santa. So yeah, if we get round tripped on this long, I wouldn't re-enter. The only way that I would is if I thought S&P was going to hold boot gamma. Okay. Were you here yesterday, my guy? It's the same as yesterday. It's hella low volume. So if S&P goes, Bitcoin will go. If S&P is not going to hold that boot gamma, then Bitcoin's not going to hold the value area high. Okay. Yeah, man. HRDZ says, hello, Kimba. I'm learning a lot with your rewind. My God, thanks, dude. My pleasure. I didn't see how to put settlement line on. Could you show us the way? Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to have the indicator for you guys, and so it'll automatically have it. But just Google this bitch, my guy. Okay. Go to the CME. It's right there. 105880. 105880. Okay? Just Google it. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Yep. If you ever hear me say something or talk about something and you don't understand, just head on over to the Googs. Yeah, and there's no right or wrong. All right, I'm rooting for longers, I'm rooting for shorters. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's you. You know, today me, tomorrow you kind of thing. We all take turns, juicing or having it go our way. So the most important thing is that regardless of what you're doing, you're taking it with edge and you're managing risk and you're doing the right thing. So it's a random Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what happens, there's going to be another trade that we'll take tomorrow. Yeah? Sounds good? So let's lock in. Kobe, Triple J, Kimba, is it safe to assume you have moved your stop up as that higher low is now below VWAP? Yes. Yep. Like, let's be real. If it's really bullish, you shouldn't lose that 105.2 hundo on Coinbase, that impulsive low. Yeah. You know what I need? How do we figure out if this is support or not? Kagam says, why no influencer use this kind of strategy? What are you talking about, bro? Hella people do this shit. Hella, just because you don't know of them doesn't mean that no influencer uses this. Dude, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people that do this shit. Dude, it's right here. Just, this is this, right? It's in TradingView for free. There's millions of people that trade like me, bro. I'm not doing anything crazy, my guy. Wow, Pixel, cut joy. Bro says, how many edge can you have as max? I don't know. I'm a pretty I'm a let us up dumbass, to be honest with you. So all I do is just focus on 3 edge, But if you're a fucking, little savant motherfucker and you can hold on, you can calculate and manage 8, edge at once, then God bless you, do that. Whatever works for you, BRO, but you've seen me for the last couple years. All I really care about is that 3rd or 4th edge, right? So, I mean, structural edge, is it a swing fail? Is it a failed auction? Is it Kimba Crown? Is it a Trident? Whatever. Is there open interest edge? Did longs or shorts get squeezed? Are longs or shorts trapped? And then CVD divergence. And then if we get that 4th S&P confluence, that's Gucci Magucci, but I don't necessarily need it. All right. Anyways, we just had the hourly candle close, ladies and gentlemen. 2 hours left on U.S. market close. We have about an hour left until power hour. Happy Tuesday, y'all. How we doing? How we doing out there, Liquania? Talk to me, Liquania. Fuck going on with this fucking VWAP sandwich? At least Biddy is Fibonacciing, yeah? Yeah. Pixel perfect, chat? What do you think about that value area high retest? Yeah, I mean, there is going to be a pullback, though, so let's see what it is. I think a 107 SFP or like a 108 SFP back down to 100 would be dope. Like a 98 pullback, VWAP. You said would be amazing, no doubt. Yeah, I mean, again, on the higher time frame, if there's a hidden CVD bull div, if it's the anchor VWAP, why not, right? Alram says many people starting to believe never again below 100K. I don't know if that's like an echo chamber that you're stuck in or whatnot, but I'm gonna just take it level by level, okay? And that would be funny to kind of clean everybody below, right? What you really want is people to bottom short, Alram. And then let's get to like 130 type of shit. But for now, I don't know, man. I'm just fucking praying to God that I can get a 59.55 papink on S&P. And that's about it. Ayo Gain says, is it a bad idea to be getting into longs on alts right now? No, I mean, it depends on what time frame, brother. I don't know what edge you're taking. Yeah, are you talking about like higher time frame shit than, or like, I do think there's going to be a little bit of a pullback, but I think in general, it's always good to just be dollar cost averaging, right? Conceptually, AO gains, anytime that you're in taking longs or buying spot before quantitative easing and rate cuts happen, you're good. Alram says data, so should keep my feelings away from this. Yeah, but what are you trying to do, Alram? So are you more bullish? Are you more bearish? What are you trying to do? According to Gat, I'm the only one in a long from 104, but we juicing, and I'm looking at 107 SFP. Obviously, we've got the RTH high and the ETH high. Alram says, I'm trying to get in a fat long for the long term. I juiced shorting till 76, but I want to really be flying. Okay. Yeah, why you didn't like the 104, the value area low? Yeah, maybe you have a value area high bullish retest. I would prefer not, but like considering how shitty S&P is, maybe I have to wait until tomorrow for any sort of SFP. And it really needs to be tomorrow because you guys already know what I'm going to start saying if it's going to do it on Thursday or Friday. So Thursday, Friday, RTH, ETH, SFP highs, we're starting to look at like a 3 drives. Maybe we'll take it on Monday type of shit. Hazy says, why the gang hating on alts? They pumping. I'm sure some are pumping. Yeah, so Like I said, Hazy, it depends on which one you're looking at, what time frame you're looking at. You know, the juice is the juice and the math is the math. Kachoya. Everybody juicy magooch. Johnny Kings, though, you good? How we doing? Happy Tuesday, my guy. Can I get a kachoya on everybody juicing? And by juicing, I'm talking about learning. Does everybody feel like, hands up if you feel like you're a little bit of a better trader today than you were on Sunday evening or Monday morning? And it could even be impressive if it's an OG or a veteran. But hands up if you feel like you're, even if it's a margin of 0.00001%, maybe you saw a Fibonacci play, whether it's 7505 or 886618, or maybe you saw VWAP getting turned into support, whatever the fuck it is. And maybe it's not even your first time, but maybe it was the 99th time that you saw it and you finally went, aha. Now I understand what he means by VWAP getting turned into support. Now I understand what he means by 2, 3, 30-minute candle closes. Now I understand what he means by this or that, or, you know, something that maybe you can put into your own little arsenal and maybe help you fight your battles a little bit better or a little bit juicier. Kachoy? There's no right or wrong, chat. Vitamin D says, so you think low probability it goes to 109 Kaya from here without taking more lows below? So do you think it's low probability it goes to 109 from here without taking? Oh, Well, you said 109, right? So I think my first level that I would be paying attention to is the 108 SFP. So if it pokes his head and, okay, so first things first, let's just take a look at what everybody should be able to see themselves, right? So like, brother, you can see and I can see that the RTH high, okay, and the ETH high is different, right, Vitamin? Let's just like step back and talk about things that is not debatable, right? So when you say 109, you're talking about the RTH high sweep, correct? On CME. So in my opinion, there's 3 scenarios that we're looking at. There's a front run of SFP level. There's a front run of the RTH high, and there's the front run of the ETH all-time high. They both have different significances for me. And obviously these are 8-hour session candles, and so I'm talking a little bit on the higher time frame. Okay? But playing this SFP of any of these levels, I think everybody knows how to do that. So I'm not really too concerned about that. What I'm putting a little bit more emphasis and focus on is there's a chance it's going to front run the SFP because everybody's looking for the SFP, you know, and leaving the highs unfinished. So it's extra confluence if we can get along. So is there a chance that we don't clean the 107,670, the 108,960, and the 110,150? Yeah. And we keep it funky like that. We go back down, we close that gap or not, and then rotate back to clean. So leaving the highs bad would just be extra confluence to take the long if we go back down for me. Right? And then obviously, if it's an SFP, like whether you're on the 15-minute or 30-minute, you're looking at order flow, you're looking at structure. And so if depending on what kind of edge you get, and I don't know if you want to throw in S&P confluence, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. I think on Monday, if you were shorting, you may have learned the value of needing S&P confluence when it's low volume. So I think individually people are going to probably have different ways of executing, but SFP I think is easy. And it's really just a matter of, are you okay with the SFP happening during RTH or ETH? And do you want it to happen during Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? Or do you want to wait until Monday? So if you're talking smaller time frame right now, I would say the 107,670 sweep or the front run of that is what you're looking at next. Okay? And then when you say 109, I'm assuming you're talking about the RTH high, right? So there is a value in understanding it swept the RTH high and it did an SFP. So let's go ahead and think about either shorting or longing when it goes to the box down there, versus we just made an all-time high on RTH. You're probably looking for a bullish retest of previous zone value. Okay, so that means that you could actually maybe get like a pullback all the way back to I don't want to say 92, but at that point it would depend on where S&P is pulling back to. And that would be a higher time frame too. So the good news is, brother, is I'm here every day. Market open, market close. So nothing's going to sneak up on us. And, you know, if you're probably already, whether you know it or not, you're already more bullish or more bearish than I am. You're going to be more aggressive on shorts, or you're going to be more aggressive on trying to long every single pullback we get, you know? So just be prepared. Just be ready to go for today. We're just going to see if we can continue to stay above value area high and settlement. The bullish momentum continues if we settle above yesterday's settlement. Let's keep it hella easy. Kachoy? And I think you have seen this sort of Fibonacci play anyways. And so, like, worst case scenario, Lions, you know, you might get, what if you get that for tomorrow? Anything is possible. And then the same thing we just said 30 seconds ago would apply. Does it matter if it does that during RTH? Does it matter if it's during ETH? Do you fucking take it if it's during Macaulay? Some people are going to do the blind limit stop loss. Some people are going to wait for this and then get filled here, and that's their stop loss. There's no right or wrong. It's just you got to figure out what you can afford and what you can't. Can we get nasty? Can I get a Kachoya chat? Hero? What about what are we thinking today, chat? How was today? Did you enjoy today? I had a fucking blast. Kept you know my ass on fucking tippy toes. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get round tripped on this S&P long again. I thought we would have hit 59.55, so I have to be objective. The fact that if we can't get back above 59.50, it's kind of I probably have to concede. It's not as bullish as I think it is, because look at the way that the VWAP is converging, you know. So. Maybe I can get lucky and it does some fucking post aftermarket like ETH pop up. You know, I don't really like to count on ETH low volume fucking like a structure change or VWAP turning into support. I'll take it, but I don't want to necessarily sit there and count on it. So if I'm going to be objective and talk about RTH session and whatnot, I got to be objective. I mean, VWAP was resistance. So bulls need to reclaim that bitch, and I would really prefer that it's done during RTH. You know? You feel me? You guys with me? I don't know. What are you guys thinking? We got some S&P shorters or what? I saw that there were some people shorting S&P at VWAP. That was juice. That's juice. I can't help my dumb ass though. You know I was looking for longs. But that being said, don't be mad at me. I got a 5927.50 long, pixel perfect, testnet, Gex flip testnet. I even actually thought about market smashing right here because that's the invalidation, right? I was even thinking about adding a little bit more, like making it around even $10 million position. But I got damn near pixel perfect bottom. What do you think about Boo Gammas? Todot says risk management is what I would extract from your brain. Todots, I got round tripped twice on an S&P long. I got round tripped twice on an S&P long. You do know that this is my third S&P long attempt, right? And I was so fucking bummed out. I was like, dude, I'm not going to take any more. I got lucky that they came down to Gex flip during RTH, and it not only pixel fucked the Gex flip, but the level that we had to the downside. So that was fucking awesome. That's a fake ass high, okay? We're going to call it the Temu high. Can we call it the Temu high? Does everybody know what the fuck I mean by that? Right? Does that make sense? You guys understand what the fuck that means? Yes? I'm kind of joking, but I'm kind of not. There's a significance to this. You know? So that's the fucking Temu high. You know what I mean? Like, that's a fake ass fucking sweep. The real money liquidity sweep happens above at 107,670. Like, you guys need to understand that, right? But that being said, especially if you're scalping or whatever, that's completely valid, and you got to be objective with that. So you got to start the whole process of, you know, value area high, value area low, VWAP, all that again. Cut joy. Hey, Macaulay is gonna be juicy today. Macaulay is gonna be juicy today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let's set the RTH real quick, and I'm gonna get out of here and pass the torch on to Houston and Cage. All right, but you guys can work together and value area high. Value area low. And this will change by a couple dollars tomorrow morning, but that's what you're roughly looking at, okay? So this is $5 off. It should be 107,000, but it's going to change anyways. So something like that. You're looking at something like that. And then this is your ETH now. All right, you guys are the fucking best. Thank you so much for stopping by. I will do my best. Actually, you know what? What do I always say? Who gives a fuck about effort, right? I'll be here pre-market. So I hope to see you guys here. I'll be here pre-market. Let's take a look at what the 15-second alpha TA looks like, okay? So maybe there is an RTH short or a scalp long. All right. But the best way to do that is for you to be prepared and kind of have your preparations. And, you know, at the end of the day, do what you think is best, Lions. You guys are all hella good traders. I think it's kind of goofy to think that I'm that much better. I'm really not. So don't let me believe in you more than you believe in yourself. You can't be doing goofy shit like that, especially in this game. Even if you're going to fake it till you make it, you know, I won't be bummed out if I wake up and I'm stopped out on anything. I'm, you know, just, this is looking great. I think maybe you missed all of this. Did you see me put this line? You got to get caught up if you missed this, because, dude, this was a fucking clinic. Okay, so understanding that this and this is the anchor point. All right, and being okay with that deviation and that deviation. Okay, so that's the first thing. So that's, it kind of helps you there. And then we had this level for quite some time, the 59.27. So you had a lot of opportunities to long, whether you wanted to, you know, pixel fuck that, whether you wanted to do this. You know, like Fibonacci, whatever you wanted to do. But for me, like 59.27, obviously we've had that for a very long time. You had an opportunity to either pixel fuck long that, pixel fuck long this, and that's your stop loss. And I'm glad that we had a candle close above the swing level that I wanted. And I love that. Even though it's ETH, I'll still take it. I'm not really loving it as much as I would have if it was RTH and real volume. But getting above VWAP, I'll take it. So we have the Boo Gammas to the upside. It would have been great to get 59.55 during RTH. I got to be a little bit aware of like 59.55 and 60.18 being a swing fail. I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Can we give it up for Houston Cage?